This is my audience. If someone told you that there was a link between suicide, graduation rates, heart disease, and childhood experiences, would it surprise you? Adverse Childhood Experiences, or ACEs, is ongoing research of how childhood events that are traumatic can affect people's overall health in their lifetime. The study started in 1995 with Kaiser Permanente and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, but is still ongoing today. My goal today is I want to teach you about what are considered ACEs, the impact they can have on people's health, and what society is doing to aid those who are struggling with them. After resident assistant training, where I became mental health first aid certified, I learned very in depth what ACEs are and resources we can use to help residents who appear to be struggling with them. With present-day media bringing to light things like sexual assault, abuse, and children having to deal with immigration proceedings on their own, tragedy is very prevalent in our lives. Being able to recognize these issues that people may have faced or are currently facing can help us all be more understanding individuals and be able to be better equipped with knowledge to aid rather than to judge. Today I'm going to explain more in depth how ACEs are established, the statistics that link ACEs to further negative development in adulthood, and the implementation of trauma-informed practices. First, let's talk about what ACEs are and how they're evaluated. The Community and Family Services Division at the Spokane Regional Health District defines ACEs as serious childhood traumas that result in toxic stress that can harm a child's brain. Repercussions of this stress can prevent children from learning well and playing in a healthy way, and having an impact on their long-term mental health. Adverse childhood experiences can include physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, physical and emotional neglect, household substance abuse, household mental illness, seeing violence inside the household or outside the household, being homeless, natural disasters or wars, and bullying by an adult or another child. So how do we evaluate ACEs in individual people? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention and Kaiser Permanente developed a 10-question questionnaire that would determine an ACE score. The CDC describes ACEs questionnaire as a 10-item self-report measure developed to identify childhood experiences of abuse and neglect. If you look at your handout, you'll see this questionnaire in front of you. The first 5 questions have to deal with self, and the second 5 have to deal with family and living environment. This set of questions may not include everything that is considered a trauma, but is the top 10 traumas that were found in the study originally done by CDC and Kaiser Permanente. One important thing to note is that what defines a trauma is the person's experience of it, not the event itself. So someone may have a high ACE score, but they might not be impacted the same way as other people. Just like having a low ACE score doesn't mean that you can't have experienced traumas and that you're not susceptible to different health issues. The higher your ACE score, the more likely you are to have a greater impact on your long-term health. An ACE score of 4 or more is considered the cutoff when looking at statistical differences. In a 2001 article for the Journal of the American Medical Association, it is stated that an expanding body of research suggests that childhood trauma and adverse experiences can lead to a variety of negative health outcomes, including substance abuse, depressive disorders, attempted suicide in adolescents and adults. Other factors that ACEs impact are adolescent and unintended pregnancy, STDs, multiple sexual partners, obesity, stroke, diabetes, asthma, heart disease, liver disease, and smoking. Let's take a look at how statistics vary between ACE scores and these health risks. According to ACEs for health systems and providers, someone with an ACE score of 4 or more is 93% more likely to be an illicit drug user by the age of 18. They are 25% more likely to suffer from heart disease, 460% more likely to suffer from depression, 18% more likely to be a heavy smoker, 95% more likely to be on antidepressants, 93% more likely to attempt suicide. They are 3 times more likely to be victims of domestic abuse and 8 times more likely to be victims of rape. A woman with an ACE score of 4 or more is 360% more likely to become a domestic abuser, while a man is 400% more likely. Women with an ACE score of 4 or more are 40% more likely to have a teen pregnancy. Now that you know how monumental the impact of ACEs can be, let's talk about what schools are doing to try and change these statistics. As college students, there are many ways that we can implement these ideas in our own relationships. And we can see them all working here at Millikan as well. Community Resilience Initiative, or CRI, released a documentary in 2015 called Paper Tigers. This followed Lincoln High School students who were students in a school that was implementing restorative justice and trauma-informed practice teaching. This included getting rid of things like suspensions, detentions, and yelling at students, and implementing an on-call at the school counseling system that made counselors available to students all day without the worry of transportation. This saw an 82% increase in graduation rates for Lincoln High School and allowed many of the students the necessary foundation they needed to attend college. Though not every school can be as hands-on as Lincoln High, we can all implement certain things that can help us become more trauma-informed. We can see these at Millikan through their hearings when there's an infringement of the rules in campus housing, mediations and roommate problems, and just as here at the Counseling Center, we have the implementation of 2 new trauma-informed counselors. Millikan is especially a school that requires a lot of collaboration through its performance learning, and by being aware of what may be causing someone's negative actions, we're able to be a lot more understanding and to really think about the big picture of what can really be affecting them. Sometimes when someone lashes out in a negative way, there's something underlying. And by having the mentality to understand what that might be, we can all be more successful in our collaborations at school. Overall, the ACE study is one that shines a light on a connection of traumatic events to health issues in future lives. By looking at how ACEs impact people far beyond their occurrence, what falls under the umbrella of being an ACE, and how schools are working today to provide a positive change to these statistics, we can all make an effort in our own lives to be more trauma-informed and see a success for a larger group of people. By knowing what ACEs are and how they can impact people, we can change the lives of others by helping them pave the way for success when it hasn't previously been in their past. Thank you.